Hello, everyone. This is Matthew Cotton.
Who is the most influential person in your life and how have they impacted your life?
The most influential person in my life, I would have to say, would be my mother, as well as my father. I know it's only supposed to be one person, but both of them have been very instrumental in my growth as a young African-American man. They've instilled in me hard work ethic. They've instilled in me that to always be respectful to your elders, to people that are above you and that can teach you. And they have always told me that you get out what you put in. So when you work hard and you exude the right qualities that you need to be a professional, then you will eventually be catapulted into the right path. So I believe that that's very important, and those are the two people that I look up to the most.
Describe in your own words the meaning of the men of excellence.
The meaning of the men of excellence, I think it can have a few different meanings. It can have the individuals from a lot of different backgrounds. It could have, for example, me, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a 24-year-old young African-American man. I've been around sports my whole entire life. That could be one background, and I would say I'm a man of excellence because of my accolades, my accomplishments, my relations that I've built with other people, and who I know and how I got to know them. Like I said, I've always been very respectful. And I think I exude those men of excellence qualities, And I have other friends from other backgrounds who were as fortunate as I was, as far as growing up, as far as maybe they didn't have food all the time, maybe they weren't in the right situations that I was, maybe they weren't able to stay out of trouble all the time, but they have progressed and they have grown as young African-American men and as young men in general. And I think that that's very important. It's not about where you come from, it's about how you finish. And I think growth is just very important in society today because you have to grow in order to become a better person.
Words of wisdom that you live by to inspire you and to be the best at all times.
Words of wisdom. I'm a big fan of the group Earth, Wind and Fire. So their songs really, they uplift me. As far as words of wisdom, I always refer to Keep Your Head to the Sky. That is a song that I live by because you are going to have ups and downs within your life. You're going to have those rough moments where someone will try to define you based off of your mistakes. And your mistakes don't define you. They make you the person that you are. They help you grow. They help you mature as an individual. So I like to let everybody else know that it's not where you start, it is where you finish. And I think that that's very important.
Describe yourself in one word.
Charming. I've heard that I am very charming. And I have grown to adopt that quality, and I've grown to use it to the best of my ability, and as far as making relationships effective with other people. And not always charming as in charm someone to get my way or anything like that. It's just on a professional level, and it's on a level of maturity, and I think that it's on the level of genuine friendship or genuine, human relations. So I think it's very important to be charming in the sense that you have to develop those relations that will help you in the future.
If we did a movie or wrote a book about you, what would be the title of the movie or the book be called?
If we wrote a book about me, I would really just call it The Day in the Life of Matthew. I say that because throughout the day, throughout my time here in Huntsville, Alabama, I have had a lot of different experiences. Some have made me open my eyes to the world and who you will meet and the different type of people that you will meet. Excuse me. And I've grown here as far as education-wise, as far as athletics, as far as being able to become a professional in the field of communications. And I just feel like I can tell people, if I had a book, I can tell people within the book about who I really am. So that's why I say a day in the life of Matthew Cotton, because I can tell them day by day, minute by minute, exactly what I'm doing. Some people might not understand it, but I think they will once they read or they see a movie or a book about me.
If your younger self was watching your interview right now, what would you tell him?
My youngest son was watching me right now. My youngest son was watching me right now. I'm proud of you. If my youngest son was watching me right now, he would say, I'm proud of you. You have come a very long way. You have finally found what you want to do with your life. You have finally found your passion. You have finally realized what God wants you to do. So I just believe that that's very important. And I feel like it's significant for everyone to know what they want to do moving forward, where they are going, but don't get discouraged if you are not sure where you want to go, because it is a lesson that you continuously learn. And I just feel like I have grown. I keep saying the word growth, but I have grown a lot as a young African American man.
How do you give back to your community?
I give back to my community in the most unorthodox ways that one could think. I don't always go to food drives or the shelter, but as often as I can, I keep shoes, like sneakers, in my trunk, or a pair of boots in my trunk. And when I'm driving down the street in impoverished neighborhoods or neighborhoods where I see somebody in need, and I actually might run across somebody that don't have shoes on their feet, I do my best to stop my car, hop out, and ask if somebody needs some shoes. So they'll have a pair of Jordans or a pair of Nikes on their feet, and they'll just be thankful that they have something to put on their feet, even though that they are my shoes. I still believe that, I'm very fortunate and I can get this later, and this just materialistic rather. So I just do my best to hand out a few dollars if I can. But most importantly, I think I keep shoes in my trunk so I can just hand them out, because a lot of people don't have shoes. Like, you see a lot of people that walk around that that don't have anything on their feet, and I think that's just not right. So I do my best to hand out what I can.
Name an unsurmountable situational challenges that you had to overcome.
I keep referring back to sports, but I think that that's the most relevant. Going into my senior year of high school, I tore my anterior cruciate ligament, which is your ACL, in my right knee. I had maybe 3 or 4 scholarships to play football. I had 2 to play basketball, and once those schools figured out that I was injured, they pulled those scholarships, and I was not sure which direction I would go as far as college. And that was very challenging for me, because I knew what I wanted to do as far as playing sports, but I didn't know what I wanted to do after that. Which actually a lot of athletes go through, but I think it was most challenging for me because I felt like a kind of a pressure, because I was put on this pedestal, not necessarily this pedestal, but me and my teammates that I grew up with in high school, we were put on such a high pedestal rather than other people that we knew. So we had to do something to set an example for other people. And I just believe that tearing my knee put me in a better situation, because I would have never came to Alabama A&M if it weren't for my knee. And I've actually gone through surgery after surgery after surgery while in college. So I think that not necessarily those failures, but those injuries have set me up to be the person that I am, because those are a lot of distractions. It's a lot that goes through your mind. You become depressed, you develop anxiety. So overcoming that, I just believe is very significant for me as a person.
In 5 to 10 years, what are your dreams that you want to have accomplished?
In 5 to 10 years, I plan to be happily married, happy being the root word. I plan to be happily married, and I plan to be not so far, but I plan to be deep enough in my career that others will reach out to me in order to get something back. And I plan to help as many people as possible, whether that be the southeast region of the country, maybe that's internationally, maybe that's on the West Coast, wherever it may be. I just want to let my voice be an anchor for other people that want to get into this industry, and other people that understand the importance of media and how it plays into people's lives. Like I said, I'm in sports. I'm in sports media and sports scholarship, sports management rather. And I think that we as a society need to look at how media plays into people's lives as far as what we say, what we do, and how it affects the youth. So I want to affect the youth in a positive light, and I just want to keep doing that in my career.
According to sources, Mr. Cotton, you are an actor. So how does acting kind of plays a little bit with the sports relations which you're dealing with today?
Acting has opened my eyes to see what I actually can really do. Acting, I believe, helps with reporting and interviewing, anchoring, what have you. As far as staying in the moment, not becoming distracted, you practice acting, or you practice your going over your scripts and things of that nature. And it's kind of like, it's the exact same thing as acting. So it's just more practice. That's how I believe it plays into sports media. And I just think that it's very important for young individuals like myself, who when I started doing sports management and sports communications, I wasn't thinking that I would be acting. But it's actually become very interesting and very helpful as far as more practice. You're getting more practice. You are also branding yourself in a way that is kind of unorthodox from what you're trying to do, but it all comes full circle. It all shows in the end how you develop these certain skills. So acting has helped me a lot, and I would recommend acting to whoever wants to be in front of the camera, whether that be interviewing, whether that be anchoring, things of that nature. So acting is always a help.
And speaking of acting, how would Matthew Cotton talk to Adam Banks as your alter ego? How would he handle that? Because according to, Central Park East, how would Matthew Cotton handle Adam Banks, your alter ego?
Matthew Cotton looked like Adam Banks, because Adam Banks is very arrogant. For lack of a better term, Adam Banks he's ignorant, arrogant. He's just a number of different things. And that's what makes it, I think it makes it so fun, because you're playing your alter ego, so to speak. And I know the real me wouldn't condone some of the things that Adam Banks does, some of the things that Adam Banks says. They're just repulsive. But that's the fun that you get out of playing those type of roles. That's what you get out of acting. But if I was to see Adam Banks on the street, we would have some issues, because Adam Banks has issues. And I don't like drama. I don't do drama. So me and Adam Banks would probably go toe to toe.
Last words of wisdom for anyone that's watching your interview. They're actually, observing, they're going through your career. They're like, you know what? Mr. Cotton seems like, a great guy. And I wonder what type of words of wisdom would he definitely give to me, so I could be to that next level of getting that achievement.
What I would like to say is something that a lot of people said to me growing up, but I didn't really listen, as well as my friends and family. We didn't really listen, the younger family. As a young individual, well, anybody, you must always watch, one, what you put on social media. You must always watch what you put on social media, because everybody not everybody, but somebody's always watching, and you might not think that they're watching. And that could be somebody that's trying to hire you, or that could be somebody that's trying to give you an opportunity. 2, you must always watch your credit. Credit is very important. In this life, in this world, you can't do anything with bad credit. So you must always watch what you are doing monetary-wise, financial-wise. And 3, I think it's very important as well. Do not burn bridges. With those people that you meet, those people that have helped you, you make sure you stay loyal and you respect those individuals. Now, if they're doing something that is unethical, you can bring that to their attention and you can let them know that this isn't right. But you must never burn bridges. In this industry, especially in media, you must never burn bridges. So, and also I would like to say, your mistakes do not define you. As I said before, mistakes make you who you are. You learn from those mistakes to become a better person, to become a better human being, a better friend, a better lover, a better son, a better daughter, things of that nature. So you must always just be respectful. Just always be respectful.
Last question. What is your theme music that actually pumps Matthew Cotton up in the morning?
Theme music. Oh, Lord. My theme music, it can range from R&B, old R&B, to new hip hop. So, first thing I do when I wake up, I go to YouTube and I usually turn on Gucci Mane, old Gucci Mane, not new Gucci Mane. Either Gucci Mane, and then it'll go into Earth, Wind and Fire, like I said before. It's kind of a weird pattern there. And then it'll go to, let's say, the old P. Diddy and Genuine, and when they were in Miami, they were talking about They Need a Girl. It'll go back to that. So it's a very long list of songs that I listen to in the morning. And then it'll go to some Lil Wayne from like the Drought 3, maybe the Carter 2. So it'll be between R&B and rap, but it's a long list of songs that I go through, and I know them verbatim, word by word. So that's what gets me pumped up in the morning. That's what wakes me up, and that's what keeps me going throughout the day is music. Whether I'm playing it in my head or I'm playing it in my car. So that's what really pushes me.